Did you know that fight with your cat? Can it have a price that goes far beyond the physical? What if I told you that he actually chose you? Now imagine that this choice is spiritual, and that the energy between the two of you is not just about friendship, but about something bigger, something you never imagined. What can happen when this energy breaks? I know you won't believe the consequences of this mystical connection, but get ready, because I'm going to take you on a spiritual journey with your feline that will turn your mind upside down. Stay until the end, because the answer will change everything you know about cats. Cats, as we already know, are enigmatic creatures. But what few know is that, in many cultures throughout history, cats were seen as spiritual guardians, beings who had a unique connection with the divine and with the cosmic forces that govern the universe. They weren't just pets. They were intermediaries between the physical and spiritual worlds, capable of interacting with invisible energies and sometimes even predicting the future or warding off evil spirits. The reverence that ancient cultures had for these creatures often goes far beyond admiration for their beauty or agility. Already ancient Egypt, the relationship with cats was one of absolute respect. It is no wonder that Bastet, the Egyptian goddess with the lion's head, was the personification of protection and wisdom. Bastet was revered as the goddess of home and fertility, but above all, it represented the spiritual connection between human beings and the spiritual planes. She was responsible for protecting homes and warding off negative energies, and in many representations, she was accompanied by cats, which served as her spiritual guardians. For the Egyptians, a cat was not just an animal, it was a physical manifestation of pure spiritual energy. And it doesn't stop there. In great civilizations like Rome, cats were considered sacred animals. They were called familiares, from the Latin family, because their presence was considered essential to maintaining spiritual balance within a home. The Romans believed that cats had the ability to scare away demons and evil spirits, as well as bring good luck. In ancient Rome, it was common to see cats being worshipped and even buried with their owners, which indicates the level of respect and the belief that the connection with these felines transcended earthly life. Already Japan, one of the clearest examples of how cats were seen as spiritual beings, is the famous Maneki Neko, or the lucky cat. He is widely recognized across the country, with his paw raised, as a symbol of good luck and prosperity. But this cat goes beyond the materialistic concept of luck. In fact, Maneki Neko is considered a spiritual protector, which brings blessings and balance to whoever possesses it. This is a perfect example of how spirituality and manifestation can be found in the figure of a simple cat, but with much deeper meanings. These cultures, long before we had modern knowledge about energy and spirituality, already knew intuitively that cats were connected to higher dimensions. This connection, although lost over the years, can still be seen in our modern society, even if in a more subtle way. In more recent times, several spirituality experts and energy claim that cats continue to be powerful spiritual mediators. They can absorb negative energies and transform them, clean environments, and even help their owners access a higher level of consciousness. Famous author and esotericist Richard Webster, in his book, The Mystical Power of Cats, mentions how cats have a unique ability to help with manifestation of intentions. They can be spiritual agents that connect the physical world to the spiritual plane, guiding their owners in times of difficulty or transition. This ancestral knowledge, however, has often been distorted or forgotten. The modern view of the cat as a simple pet has distanced us from a deeper understanding of this spiritual relationship. However, many still feel that their cats have something special, something that goes beyond simply chasing mice or being cuddly on the couch. Have you ever stopped to think that your cat might be here for something more? With all these cultural references, we see how cats have always been seen as spiritually powerful beings, capable of affecting the lives of their owners in invisible but profound ways. They are more than just animals. They have a mission: protect, guide, and even manifest the destinies of those who have the privilege of being chosen by them. At first glance, the idea that a cat can manifest a human into its life may seem a little strange. After all, we are used to thinking that it is we, humans, who choose our pets, not the other way around. But what if I told you that, in fact, cats choose who will be part of their spiritual journey? The connection you have with your cat is not just a matter of choice or chance. It is a spiritual manifestation of something much greater. To understand this, it is necessary to look at the concept of manifestation and the way it applies to all living things, including cats. In many spiritual traditions, the manifestation, it is the act of bringing something from the spiritual plane to the physical plane. In other words, a desire, a dream, or a being can be manifested in material reality based on a specific vibration, intention, or energy. And that's exactly what happens when a cat chooses a human. He is manifesting you in his life. This is where the spiritual philosophy behind this connection comes in. Cats are not just animals that fall into our lives by coincidence. They have a specific reason for being there. They manifest their presence with a divine purpose, aligning with your energy and helping to shape your spiritual journey. You, as a human being, were drawn to the cat, but he, in turn, was waiting for you. This is a profound concept that challenges our understanding of the relationship between humans and animals. The cat, by choosing you, is connecting with a part of your own spiritual mission, guiding you to a life experience more aligned with your true self. This leads us to reflect on the theory of manifestation spiritual, where all beings, including animals, are drawn into our lives with a cosmic reason. When a cat chooses a human, it is manifesting that human back into its spiritual life, and vice versa. The connection you feel with your feline is no accident. He wasn't sent just to be company. It was sent to help you manifest a more authentic and powerful version of yourself. And make no mistake, the cat is a master of spiritual manifestation. He is in constant harmony with the energy around him, something he absorbs intuitively but effortlessly. Cats, because they are such independent and spiritually elevated beings, have the ability to perceive vibrations and energies in a way that many of us cannot even imagine. They know when your energy is out of balance. They know when you are going through a period of transformation or difficulties. And somehow, they manifest their presence to help guide you to your spiritual path. Maybe you've noticed something curious about your cat. He approaches you at times when you need it most, when you're sad, anxious, or going through a time of great change. But it's not just because of affinity or affection. It's because he intuitively knows that his energy needs balance and restoration. He chose you not just for companionship, but to be his spiritual guide, his energetic healer. He manifests his presence in your life as a way to help you manifest your own spiritual desires and goals. Imagine for a moment that when you adopted your cat, it wasn't just a fluke. The cat was there because you were ready to go through a journey of spiritual transformation. When you look at him, you see more than just a pet. You are seeing a spiritual partner who has come to help you manifest your true self. This is the power of the cat and of spiritual manifestation. Now, let's enter a more sensorial and poetic dimension, where the energy and vibration of the bond between you and your cat becomes almost palpable. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the following: the softness of your cat's fur, the delicate touch of his paws as he walks around you, as if dancing between the fine lines that connect the physical plane to the spiritual. The soft sound of your purring, which is not just a sign of happiness, but a deep vibration that resonates with the universe. He approaches you with an unflappable calm, as if he knows something you still can't fully comprehend. Your presence is like a silent wave, which envelops your soul and softens it, removing tension from your body and mind. His every movement is a dance with the energy of the cosmos, an invisible choreography that reminds us of the deep connection between all things. Now, imagine what it would be like if you truly understood the power of this presence. Your cat is not just a physical being that occupies space in your home. He is the personification of a cosmic energy, which came to you to awaken something deep within your soul. And when you feel the need to move away from him, or even fight him, it's as if you're trying to interrupt the flow of the universe that was carefully designed for you. Although, the beauty of this spiritual bond is in its simplicity. You don't need words, you don't need grand gestures. It's just the simple act of being together, of feeling that subtle energy flow between the two of you, without rushing, without pressure. It is a pure connection that, if interrupted, can cause a deep emptiness, like a melody interrupted in the middle of its playing. Now, imagine that you fought with your cat, that it moved away from you, or that you didn't realize the spiritual depth of your relationship with it. What happens when the energy between you breaks down? Did you know that this can have a much greater price than simply losing a feline's friendship? The energy you share with your cat is not just an emotional exchange, it is a profound spiritual exchange. And when this energy is disturbed, the consequences can reflect on your life in ways you never imagined. But what happens if you really understand this? If you start to realize that your cat, this being so silent and majestic, is here to guide you on your spiritual journey? Is he waiting for you to recognize his mission and align with him? Or are you ignoring the messages he is sending you? When you don't listen, are you ignoring the very manifestation of your destiny? Now, don't be fooled. What I'm telling you here is not a fantasy. You have power in your hands. The power to change your own life, your own energy, and the energy around you, simply by understanding the spiritual connection you share with your cat. The real question is, are you ready to accept that your cat is much more than you think? That he is a spiritual beacon in your life? So the next time you look at him, instead of just seeing him as a simple pet, ask yourself, what is he really trying to show me? What is the purpose of his presence in my life? The answer may completely change the way you relate to him, and even your own spiritual journey. And remember, everything you've done so far, the little interactions, the glances, the caring gestures, are actually part of a great spiritual path that will unfold before your eyes if you choose to see the truth behind the veil. What will you do with this revelation? The power is in your hands. The connection between you and your cat has never been just about companionship or comfort. It's about a deep and mystical spiritual journey where you and he are linked by something greater than simple physical reality. What does this mean for your future? Are you ready to find out? Leave your reflections on the spiritual connection with your cat in the comments. Do you feel like he chose you for something greater? What is his true mission in your life? What do you think happens when this energy breaks? Let's explore this together.